Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. I have an update on one of Trump's capital terrorists. It's time for an episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
You guys should definitely remember this guy, Landon Copeland. The last time this 33-year-old former Army veteran from Utah was before a judge, he basically went ballistic. He had to be muted by the court because he freaked out. He started yelling after someone else's attorney told the court that his client attacked the Capitol because he had foxitis. It was a direct quote. And then he watched too much right-wing media prior to January 6th. Well, Copeland later explained that he was angry about that attorney's comments because it was, quote, spitting in the face of the 258 million people that tune in to Tucker Carlson's show. And because basically he said the attorney was, quote, allowed to lambaste all of Fox News viewers without objection from the judge or any of the attorneys present, as if that's their job. Well, that's not the only reason that they've had issues with Copeland. And the judge has now determined, even though they had another hearing to see if they could spring him from jail, the judge has determined that no, he will remain behind bars until trial because he apparently threatened to eat a probation officer, among other things. So in a hearing today, September 10th, like I said, they had a hearing to determine if Copeland should remain in jail, if he could maybe be released to home confinement. But federal prosecutors told Judge Merriweather that when Copeland was previously released on bond, after only 2 days of freedom, he told the probation officer, quote, I will eat your flesh for nutrients. You don't know what I am. So evidently, at least it seems from the way the articles were written, this occurred on the same day of that previous hearing where Copeland lost his shit. During that hearing and after Copeland was muted by the courts, he apparently texted his probation officer while it's going on. And he said, quote, tell them I want to speak or I will die for it. I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good. Then he drove to the probation services office and he spoke to his probation officer through a glass partition. During the conversation with his probation officer, Copeland allegedly was banging his head against the glass. He was pressing his face against the glass. And he was, quote, ranting about government conspiracies. And he claimed that, quote, the government was out to get him. He also told the probation officer, quote, if I was on the other side of this glass, I would eat you from the inside out because I am starving. Fuck all of you and fuck every single one of you. I mean, all of you kind of means every single one of you. So that was kind of redundant. And I mean, if you're hungry, couldn't you run through a fast food, fast food restaurant, like a drive-through before you got there? Do you really need to eat the probation officer? And I mean, so many questions I have, like from the inside out. Don't you have to start from the outside to get to the inside? I don't know. I'm so confused. But anyway, in addition to Copeland's charming behavior, apparently law enforcement is also not welcome in the city in which he resides. So the prosecutors were saying, it would be difficult to monitor him if he was placed on home confinement because Copeland lives in Hilldale, Utah, which is home to the Fundamental Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So, that other cult, the one that's led by the convicted child predator, Warren Jeffs. Yeah. So this guy is just surrounded by cults. But anyway, here's the truly terrifying part of this story. I know it might sound crazy and terrifying this guy wants to eat his probation officer. Here's the worst part. Copeland just had a baby with his girlfriend. a woman somehow was adequately duped by this seeming lunatic into having sex with him and allowing him to impregnate her. And she decided to give birth to this child. Yeah. And his attorney is trying to use the fact that he has a newborn baby to secure his release. Are you freaking kidding me? His attorney said, it's a woman named Heather Shaner. She told the judge that his baby, quote, increases his ties to the community and gives him further incentive to abide by release conditions. Yeah, lady. Okay, yeah, let's release the guy who literally just threatened to eat his probation officer. Let's release that guy to have access to a helpless infant. Seriously? Would you leave your child with someone who, number one, has a probation officer, and number two, threatened to eat said probation officer? Oh my God. She also said that Copeland, quote, does renounce what he said with regards to anything that could be interpreted as threatening or wanting violence. Yeah, it's just interpreted as threatening when you say you're going to eat someone from the inside out. My God, who is this woman? And even Copeland, he told reporters after January 6th that he was willing to do it again. He literally said, Trump invited us and I would willingly do it again. And remember, this isn't one of those people from January 6th who just went in and walked around and maybe took photos and left. There is video evidence of this guy fighting with officers. There's video of him lifting up a barricade and pushing it against officers. There's video of him pushing against officers with a stolen riot shield and pushing another one of Trump's terrorists into the cops. He also has a criminal history. And I know, like I always say, you guys are shocked to hear that. I know. Just last year, 2020, he was charged with felony counts of theft and arson. In the same year, he was arrested for drug possession, driving with a suspended license, and having an open alcohol container in his vehicle while speeding. But let's give him his baby. Let's give him access to his infant. Oh, and he previously was arrested and charged with felony possessions of weapons while he was under an active protective order, meaning that someone in the world feared him enough and had enough evidence that they went before a judge and the judge issued a restraining order against Copeland. So this is one of those poor, helpless political prisoners that Republicans are crying and whining about. This is the type of people that they want to spring from jail, that they want to set loose on all of us. Yet, oh, they're so worried about immigrants. Oh my God. Oh, the immigrants are coming. The immigrants are coming. Seriously, so far, like nearly 100% of the affidavits and indictments I've read, 100% of the violence committed on January 6th was perpetrated by white males supporting Trump. But tell me again about the border and the immigrants and, oh my God, and the Afghan refugees. And what are we going to do? Oh, they're all murderers. They're all violent. Yeah, might want to start thinking about these domestic terrorists. Might want to maybe take a look at their cases before these idiots go and protest next week to try to get them out of jail. What happens if the baby cries too much? What if the baby won't settle down when it's teething or it has colic? What is this guy going to do? I don't think he can handle stress very well. Anyway, I'll keep you posted. Thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.